Hello and welcome back. My name is Carrie. I'm here today to do the very fun end of year tarot tag brought to us by Chanel at Chanel Days. It is the very last day of 2025 and we made it, y'all. We made it. We made it. It's a rough one. Oh my gosh, really an emotional roller coaster for me, and I think an emotional roller coaster for our house as well, as far as like if we're thinking of the element of water. We had a flood several months ago downstairs. And then we had, since November 29th, we've had 9 days of no water. We had our water main break right after Thanksgiving and no water for 5 days. And then right before Christmas, my husband and I were doing the water heater, mainly him, right? Like he learned how to solder copper pipe so we could change it out. And it was not easy, but it's done. We have water again. That's wonderful. And we're going in to 2026 being able to take a shower with hot water. So that's fantastic. Okay, so there are 12 prompts, and we're going to get started with number 1. If you've been here at all, you know what this is. Deck you loved using the most this year, and it is my Scarab and Dahlia. Now, for the most of the year, I had my first cut down the border, and then now this borderless version, which I love so much. But I also have a bordered version. So that one is going to get a lot of use, pairing that one with the Star Child this coming year. So I have plans for that. But yeah, this was the most used deck. I use it by itself. I use it in combination with Oracle. I used it for a couple of my monthly full moon goddess readings. Sacred Mothers and Goddesses is the deck. And then I just decide every month when I open it, I decide what deck I'm going to use. And this was used several times. Love it. It is my favorite collage deck. And I love collage. Collage is my favorite, and this is my favorite one. So really, really excited for whenever the second edition comes out. But yeah, I just can't. I love the players in the front of this scene, and I love the players in the background as well. So good. So good. I love her. This queen told me, cut and release the shame from your brain. I have it written on my board right now, and I'm telling myself, cut and release the shame from your brain. I appreciate you, Queen of Swords. Thank you so much. Scarab and Dahlia. Prompt number 2 is most recent edition. I am going to cheat. I'm going to do one Oracle-like deck and one tarot deck because, the holiday season just happened and I had multiple decks come in, and I'm so freaking excited about this one. So I got this for myself, and it's been sitting on my altar for, I don't know, a while, but I didn't open it until it was time to open Christmas presents. I love this deck. I looked a couple years ago, and it was, I guess this is the 10th edition maybe. I didn't really understand how these indie things worked at the time. And I looked on the website and it was out of stock. And I just thought, oh, I'll never get the deck. I didn't realize there could be other editions coming out. And then I saw multiple people having the deck on TarotTube. And I'm like, how does everybody have it? And lo and behold, went to her website. So excited. It's so adorable. I will be using this a ton next year. I love the vibrant colors. I love the joy. I love the little book, the extra cards, these little beings that are just so expressive. The artwork is just so emotive. Yeah, I'm really excited about this tarot deck. So cute. It makes me so happy. And my weird cat tarot is going to be tied up. And that's my main really super duper cute one. It's going to be tied up for the year in envelopes. So I'm going to be really happy to play with Kitten Shop's Playful Heart Tarot. Yay! And this box, come on, the details. Yes, have the drawer on the top so I can pick it up off the shelf. So perfect. And then the other deck I want to share that's really new is Story Through Stone Reflection Cards by Sindera Quackenbush. So her dad, you should go to her website, look at these cards. Her dad collected lots of rock from Death Valley. The Story Through Stone reflection cards depict photographs of stones dated by geologists to be 1.3 to 1.7 billion years old. The rare imagery within the Death Valley paint stone is naturally occurring and invites the human imagination to see ancient figures, animals, landscapes, and even aspects of our modern world. Look at that. I don't want to tell you what any of these are, but to me that's a field where all the birds have just taken off. Yeah, I love it. It feels like magic in my hands. Definitely go to her website. Her dad was on Ripley's Believe It or Not, I think in 1984, and I'm pretty positive I saw that video. It seemed so familiar when I watched it, but it's on her website. Go look at it and fall in love with these stones. He was so passionate, and I get it. I see it, because he had to find these scenes within the stone. So he had like diamond saws and polished this rock himself, but they were naturally occurring. And the fact that like volcano, and so there was fire, there was earth, like the minerals oxidized by like really airy water that over millennia's like percolated down through the stone, causing these images to be like in there, waiting for someone to slice it open at just the right spot and polish it up and find these beautiful masterpieces. So, Story Through Stone. Thank you, Kate at Moonflower Moments, for bringing this deck into my eyeballs. So excited to work with this. I'm going to really be using this as like meditation prompts. Meditation is a big goal for next year that I'll be working on. And yeah, I think this deck is going to be one of the things that helps me do that. It's so cool. Okay, prompt number 3 is a deck that isn't your usual style, but you're vibing with. This is a very new one as well. It is the Jamie Sawyer Redux Edition, 1909 RWS Tarot. I have my little tiny tarot, my RWS, but it's like the Radiant Wise Spirit, I think, that I modded and, took the titles off. And I use that when I'm backpacking, so it has like I have a special bond with that little one, but I don't really pull out the RWS I have very often at all, really. But this one, I'm not just going to use this for reference. It's so beautiful. And we've got changes to facial structure. So it just is like our world now. I love the mandalas. I love, love, love mandalas. The backs are really cool. I love that we have astrological associations within the mandalas in the background. Great work. I love it. So yeah, I've actually been using it as a tarot deck and not just like a reference tool. So good. It's just updated lines and colorization, but still mainly Pamela's work. Love it. Problem number 4 is favorite deck pairing. I have a ton. I work with my decks as, 2, 3, 4, 5 decks together and really enjoy that. This is one I haven't talked about a ton. I may have shown it once, but this couple lived on my altar space for quite a while this year, and they chat together so well. So this is M.M. Moline's Rosetta Tarot with Every Little Thing You Do Is Magic by Callie Little and Maria Seal. These two together, so freaking good. backs. I like every time I turn over cards, they're just definitely in conversation. Got eyes. So they will have more time together, definitely, on my altar space this coming year as well. Like, I love them together. There were several times on trail where I would like have a little bit of a tiny little awakening, like, oh my gosh, like you just take one step, you get a totally different perspective. Like, and I would feel myself almost like Super Mario, you know, when Mario goes like he grows and he gets bigger. And I could feel that almost happening. I'd have those moments on trail where I'm just hiking up a mountain, using all my energy and just like, oh, that's why I did that. Like, and I would look up and there is an owl in a tree that just turns its head and looks at me like, yes, child, finally. And then turn away. And it probably 3 times that happened on trail. And it was just so magical. I love owls. I love this 5. So yeah, this was a favorite deck pairing, along with my grandmother brigade, and everything else. My Amanda Clark decks with Tarot of Mystical Moments. Yeah, so good. Prompt number 5 is Divination accessories, dice, journals, altar items, deck mod, bag, cloth, or any accessory bought or made. So I do have dice, but really have not used them in quite a while. For the majority of the year, I was not really using my dice. I have several journals. So my prayer journal is here, and I, write down things that I make mantras out of. I have my my prayer beads. My altar space just got a winter cleaning and refresh. I love my altar space. I have pictures of myself, my daughter, my mom, and her mom. That shelf, very important to me. I have really special books on a shelf that's in my prayer space. Statues that have special meaning to me. Feathers. I have 2 feathers. We have resident red shoulder hawks, which I believe those are the only hawks we have here regularly. I hear them almost every day. And for a long time in our neighborhood, there was just 1 hawk, but now there's 2. I actually have seen them mate in the backyard. I was hoping at one point they were going to build a nest back there, but they did not. And I one day found one of these feathers right next to the hammock in the backyard. And then another day, my husband said, hey, look at the front door. And a feather was left like directly in front of our front door. So I use these to help me cleanse the air, spread smoke, things like that. I make my own bags. I like those. I haven't made a bag in a while, but I did just get some new fabric for a new bag or 2 or 3, and some spread cloths. And then also Johnnicke's bags are lovely. I love them so much. So this particular bag is one of the newest ones, and it's so adorable. It is my favorite one. I think it works for my deck mod perfectly. And so this mod, I got the idea from Shanna D, at Sincerely Shanna D. So the Otherkin and the Line Strider by themselves would not work for me as a deck. There's just a lot of cards. I love her artwork. I love, love, love her artwork. but sometimes when the eyes like don't have pupils, like I can do a little bit of that, but sometimes it can be overwhelming. And so I went through with the 2 decks and just chose the card that I would like best. I modified alternates, so I have more than this. This is 78 cards, but I do have another. There are 33 cards total that I didn't mod at all. I did not trim down. I still have them, but I didn't trim them. And if you don't trim them at the same time, chances are they're not going to come out so great if there is a card that I want to trim down. So the ones that I didn't mod, like I know I'm not going to choose that over what I have in the deck. But others I haven't quite decided yet. So I trimmed them down. And then at some point, I might throw some different ones in and see if there's something I want to swap out or just keep some alternates. I think I'm going to keep some alternates for the majors and the court cards that I like. But I love this mod. At some point, once I decide on my deck, the deck I'm keeping plus the alternates will be modded. You know, I'll do some kind of edging. I'm not sure. But I love them. I love this deck so much. It is just exactly right. So we have 2 different like color tones, but it doesn't bother me at all. I really, really love this paired with the astrology deck I have, where it looks like stained glass. What is that deck? I'll put the name on the screen. The astrology deck. It looks so good with that. So yeah, this is like my new favorite mod, a blend of Line Strider and Otherkin by Ciolo Thompson. And we've got this awesome Johnnicky bag from Catamancy Tarot. Prompt number 7, no. Prompt number 6, great card back. So this, I think, is the best card backs of the year. I haven't used the deck a ton yet. So this is Great Grandmother's Faded Frontier, collages by Lennox Reese. I think it's so cool. Great idea. And I do like it with Rosebud Tarot. But it has not yet spent a lot of time on my table. I know it will in this coming year. But those backs, come on. Yep, Great Grandmother's Faded Frontier. Greatest Back Award. Prompt number 7 is a deck with a theme you like, and this is probably my second most used tarot deck of the year. It was a really hard year. I have childhood trauma, working on untangling like habits that are formed just trying to keep me safe from really bad people, and having to watch the news as a responsible American and see really bad people like hurting others. Like it's been a rough year because of that. And this deck just helped me refresh. Yeah, these little monsters are here to protect. So sweet. For me, it really hit the spot. I bought it October of 2024, and it has been on the table regularly since then. Prompt number 8 is Most Beautiful Deck of the Year, and I'm choosing 2 Oracle decks, a mass market and an indie Oracle. Both gorgeous. Really have enjoyed using both of these this year. So we have Wisdom of the Sacred Oracle by Judy Lanfredi and the Priestess of Light Oracle, which did come out a few years ago, but it was new to me this year. So the Priestess of Light Oracle by Sandra Ann Taylor and Kimberly Weber. Both gorgeous decks. Oops. There's the backs. This one does have this matte soft gold edging. This one doesn't come with a book. It comes with a pamphlet with a few more keywords, but I just don't even look at it. I just love the phrase here or the keyword and this beautiful artwork. And this one I really love, both the title and the key phrase. The space between. They look good together. I have not used them together, but yeah, two beautiful decks. Prop number 9 is a deck you wish existed or a unicorn deck you want. Majestic Earth will be a unicorn deck that I would love to have. A deck I wish existed is me making something myself. So hopefully that's coming. But this coming year is going to be really busy. I have a lot of studying to do. I have a lot of studying to do for my continuing ed as a dietitian and for finishing up my herbalism beginner schooling. Yeah, I have a lot to do. I have lots of sacred work when it comes to planting and learning about mostly medicinal, but also some food plants. We'll be very, very busy with that. So also purposely planning this coming year on doing some of my envelopes, like monthly, might be weekly envelopes with some prompts for creativity. So as instead of like deep spiritual stuff, to be like more light writing stuff, writing prompts, art prompts. So that's coming up. Which card sums up the year as a whole, or a card whose energy you want to bring in? So the year as a whole has been just the Wheel of Fortune, just spinning and spinning with this like often daily. I feel like it's just been something goes wrong, I have hope. Something goes wrong, I have hope. Things are falling apart, then I have hope again. So like this has been the year, and I am ready to just like, I pulled a couple cards from the Ritual Tarot, and they're on my altar space. I have the King of Swords, the Seven of Pentacles, and the Queen of Cups. So like, that's my energy coming into next year. Hopefully, Seven of Pentacles, like nice and steady, learning, deepening my intuition, and planting things. So that's what my 2026 hopefully is going to look like. And then tarot practice reflections. Let's look at, while I'm talking about tarot practice reflections, let's look at something I know I'm going to stuff envelopes with next year. So I did not get my friend Fire and Gentle Tarot. So I have not had a Gentle Tarot before this Johnnicky bag, by the way. And I am going to put these together. So my tarot practice this past year, I really liked my envelopes. I really like having cards just out on the table all the time that I shuffle once. And I have, like, my grandmother decks, no, they have not been shuffled, but the other decks that I had out, I did occasionally shuffle them because I would pull them out for a different practice and then shuffle them, you know, like, and then put them back in the altar space. So yeah, really enjoy having them. I will continue. My grandmother brigade is still working. I did add a The Orion's Tarot I never use. And I was like, do I need this deck? And I'm like, I just never choose it as a tarot deck. But I love it. It's beautiful. It feels celestial, like celestial animal energy. It's gorgeous. I would love to use it, but I never do. Oh, my dog wants out of the office. Hold on, hold on. So I added Orion's Tarot to my altar space, and I'm like, yes, this belongs here. So when I want to pull a card, I pull a card, and then I can go to the guidebook and look for that meaning if I want to and get to know it a little bit better. But there's no rush. So I am going to stuff envelopes. I mean, it is New Year's Eve. Probably tomorrow morning. I will sit with a hot beverage and do a few envelope stuffing. So I had great intentions for my yoga practice this past year. I still have it on the board. No, I took it down. My goal is to work on handstands. And I know yoga wise, like things I can do to strengthen myself and practice that, like, and be getting up doing handstands more frequently. But then in April, I hurt my shoulder and my right arm just hasn't been the same since. So that plan went out the window. And I didn't really, it kind of bummed me out, I think. And I didn't meet my goals, even the minimum of yoga practice. So I have new goals for next year. I had yoga cards in my monthly and my full moon envelopes, and then I had too many cards and it was overwhelming. So I'm going to do a once a month pull a card from the Art of Attention yoga healing cards and have those in combination with my friend Fire and the Gentle Tarot. And that is how we're changing up my yoga meditation practice. So whatever this combination of cards is, I'm going to spend time with it, right? So it's something we can journal. It's something we can create mantras from, as well as actually doing asanas. But just one reading per month from this combination. And I don't want this deck out of commission for the whole year for this practice. So I do have the smaller version. I did get the pocket edition. So I'm going to pull one card from my friend Fire, one card from these, still be able to use these like oracle decks in other ways, even though 12 of each will be tied up in my monthly envelopes. But I'm going to use the pocket size Gentle Tarot. So I can still have this larger size deck in use. I adore them together. They hit in a part of me I think this is going to work really well for the practice coming up. So I did a Mother and Goddess card with a yoga card for my full moon readings this whole year. And I really enjoyed that most of the time. I did have a few goddesses that I didn't pull cards for. Like I read the book and it was like they have a like traumatic coming into goddesshood, and yeah, I just like didn't want to deal with that, so I didn't. But my monthly envelopes with those 4 decks that I used, the practice I did for my monthly readings with the Mysteries of the Black Madonna, the Witch Sister Tarot, the Wild and Sacred Feminine, and the Sacred Rebels was every time a really beautiful reading. They helped me create goals, like make a mandala this month, like real concrete goals that have helped me at least take baby steps towards growth. That's been really beautiful. These were readings that I would spend a lot of time with, and I would keep the cards up on the board all month where I could see them and go back and at least reflect on them again at the end of the month. So I spend a few hours a month on these readings, and my readings for next year, I want to be, other than this Gentle Tarot, my friend Fire, yoga, Art of Attention cards, like those are going to be, I'll be spending time all month with them, hopefully in meditation, in prayer, in pose, in asanas. So that's going to be a big one. But the other envelopes I'm going to do for the month are going to be like fun writing prompts, a little journaling exercise, but not like this deep spiritual kind of thing, more, I think, practical, earthly kind of stuff. So that is the plan for next year. And then when it comes to, really keeping my grandmother brigade and altar decks. So I have not really used the ritual tarot all year. I love it. It's beautiful. I think it's one of my most beautiful decks of the year, but I have not hardly used it. But I did pull cards for this coming year. They're on the altar space now. And I think that is the right space for that deck right now for me, is keeping them on the altar. So yeah, I'm not going to have a ton of tarot time, probably going to make less videos, but it is what it is. I have a lot of studying to do and I'm really excited about it, and getting on a schedule for that. Let's see, pull a card, there. All right, I'm not pulling a tarot card for next year, but this is light and fluffy. This is Enchanted Art Oracle. You can find it on Etsy. Let's pull a card. When in doubt, ask for guidance. That is great. That is great. That's really good. So we had to do a lot of plumbing stuff, and my husband learned to solder, right? Copper. And we had a little leak, and he was just like, oh my gosh, it was like the day before Christmas. And he's like, we're not going to have water again. And his soon-to-be son-in-law works in HVAC, like isn't like the plumbing guy, but he knows more than we do. And he came over and looked at it and, gave him some guidance that made him feel more comfortable with it. We have water. It's been great. So, and that was something he's like, oh, I don't have to freak out about these things. There's someone out there that can help me if I can ask for guidance. And that is true. So when in doubt, ask for guidance, y'all. Have a great, happy new year. See you soon.